Hi there, Andrew from Browning Build Group. Just wanted to run you through my QBE process, which really helps with qualifying the client, regards to their budget and their wish list as such, like because they will have their why and what they really want, but there might be areas where they might need to compromise when they see the overall cost. So I'll just quickly run through it with you. At the start, you go to the project, you get to input the areas that's needed, the total house area, my contact details, and then you've got the build details. So this is, is it flat site, what type of house style, type, and, the building complexities. So this is really good, these areas as well, because sometimes we don't know yet, but if we've got an idea with the client that they really want all the bells and whistles, then we would put the high for the general fixtures and finishes. And we don't really want to be going down that volume build area because they're custom homes at the moment, so we're always clicking custom homes, but the build complexity could be changed as well. We've got the location, so if it's close to the sea or near the main roads, and then you've also got the technical information. So I'll put all this job I've already inputted, and then you go through the price library. So what it does, it's got a base model that works off, and then based on the plans, if you see some additional items that they want, say for instance like a fireplace or rake ceiling, so they will be inputted through this area. So you start with the site and you can go through, estimate all the demolition process if there's any in there, and the electrical, if it's a clean site and that site, and then you don't have to do that, but then you've got your earthworks that can get factored in. Build structure, so all the concrete, windows, external walls, roofing. So it's really easy to use, and we can quickly punch in these items once they come up. So again, what I was speaking about before, this is the base. The base inclusion is all this. So if they're going to want some additional joinery or overhead, bench tops, we input that, and you put in the lineal. Based off the plans, you can just quickly punch that in. And this was the plans that I was working off. So this isn't too bad. There's other jobs that I've done where I literally had a floor plan and I was able to create a cost. So yeah, it's really ideal to, more detail the better, but we don't always have to, and we can get this cost for the client. Kitchen, the plumbing and fixtures, the appliances, all those things, the electrical. So this is really good. You can go through room by room really, and then you add in your downlights, you add in your power points, your pendants, all those things. They're the additional extras. So as is, it does factor in downlights already, but there might be more that the client wants. So this can all be changed. That's what's really good about this. And then you go through to the main living, you sort all that out, the beds, the wet areas, and if they don't have another ensuite, we can take that out, but this has all been factored in. This is the base inclusion. And you can get to heating and cooling, the external works, so landscaping, concrete pools, all that can be factored in. Well, that's landscaping, sorry, but all those things can be factored in, and then if you need to add additional works, it's all there as well with your contingencies. And then once they're clicked off, this comes up the deducted areas. So like, as I said before, they didn't want another ensuite or something, that gets deducted and it all comes up through here, which is really good. And once we move on to that part, and you click on the price range, and it tells you what has been selected. So we've got the drainage here, that's the cost for the drainage. The concrete works, what's needed in there, and that's the cost. Windows, balcony, elevations, all this has been populated by a estimator, and input all the details and all the data's been produced, and then it gives you a cost. So the overall cost range, the construction price, and the total for the the client would be 1.7 to 1.8. So that's all based off those plans that I just showed you. So yes, there's plans and it's built by an architect, but there could be areas where we need to adjust for budget for the client. So this is where I think it's really beneficial. And then what we do after all that, we can then present it. So this is one of my PDFs that I've presented. I've just recently finished a build where it was a knockdown rebuild, and it talks about us as a company, our values, our mantra. Then you go through to explaining this to the client on what a Rapid Pro estimate is, and it's based off 10 years of estimating experience. And then it goes through with the detailed estimating, talks about what, the area of the block, the complexity, the location, all these things have been factored in, which really gives you a good cost. Then the base inclusions, this is all where I would give this to the client. I would present it first and then give it to the client after, so they can go through and make sure, have a look at all these things. It's all been factored in. But then, and again, all these is, again, the structural costings can be factored in, the finishing costings based off the medium, high, or low, and the overheads, builder fees is all included. Then you go to, these are the additional construction items. So this has all been picked based off the plans, but the client might not want those, or the client might want some additional work, so add in some more. So it's just really, really vital to be able to have all this information ready for the client to make that decision. Keep scrolling through, and then we will get to the overall build cost, and is well presented. Again, gives you that buffer of like 10 to 10% plus or minus, so they can understand that is your cost. So it really should be created before the plans. Like, at least we've got a bit of a sketch up, and then we're like, okay, that's what you want, yep, no worries. I can then come through, populate this, and tell them this is what that build cost is going to be. Do you want to proceed? So then, yeah, and also I've got client reviews right at the bottom and contact information. So I just feel like this is just going to be a game changer, and I really, really want to push to clients, designers, to engage with me, and I can bring this, and we can have this on an iPad and just go through it. It can either be really transparent with the client, or we can do this one-on-one before the client, and we qualify them first, so then they understand. I can then get an FBE, which is a fixed build estimate, and they can then know what the overall cost will be for their build. And this is just going to simplify everything, and it's going to stop architects and designs plans just getting thrown out the window. Really looking forward to hearing your feedback with it, and yeah, looking forward to working with you. Thanks.